Welcome to Lawyers Without Billboards, where we break down family law and other areas of the law. No gimmicks, no legal jargon, just real, unfiltered talk from real lawyers. Join your hosts, Steve, Patty, Jimmy, and Alexa, partners at Shewmaker Lewis, a law firm based in Atlanta, Georgia. Every episode, they tackle the legal questions that matter most: divorce, custody, child support, alimony, and everything in between. They'll pull back the curtain to give you real insights on what happens inside the courtroom and beyond.
All right, welcome back to Lawyers Without Billboards, produced by Bleeding Edge Productions, music by your friend.
Ben Hernandez from
Hernandez.
Dragon Productions. Dragon?
Yeah, Dragon
Something to do
Productions.
with dragons.
Yeah, the Dragon.
Thank you.
Dragon Slayer. He's a
Dragon Slayer. Yes, he is the Dragon
We should
Slayer.
have an intro with Dragon Force next time.
Oh, solid.
And hey, you guys, if you listen to our podcast and if you like our podcast, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Don't forget to give us feedback and ask us questions. And, we've talked about a lot of different things, so be sure to
Comment.
Comment.
Do your part, leave a heart. Things like that.
Do your part, leave a heart.
Love it,
So today we're going to talk about what constitutes a valid marriage in Georgia. Seems like a 5-minute topic, right?
Kind of,
And
yeah.
it might be, actually. I mean, although we're a minute in, it might be longer than 5 minutes.
All right, so
Does
8.
she do the dishes? Does she do the laundry?
Does she
Does
cook?
he do yard work?
Does he
sorry.
take out the
Does
trash?
he
I-
STF you when he's supposed to?
I did that thing where I think out loud. I'm so sorry about that.
All right,
We
so-
warned you about that.
I know,
right.
right?
Okay, all right, so.
It's going to get you stabbed again.
Again, with a fork
All right. So, first question for you guys.
in the stomach.
There are 3 things to constitute a valid marriage in Georgia. Do you guys know what they are? Jimmy, what's one?
Ability to contract.
Oh, good job, Jimmy. Look at the big brain on Jimmy.
Check
Holy
out
moly,
the
you don't see him
big
coming, do you?
Rain on Jimmy.
See if he's got more.
Okay, ability to contract. What else?
No amount.
No. This is like Jeopardy. If you get one, you get the next
Yep,
one.
you
Come
got it.
on,
You
baby.
gotta keep playing until
Come
you
on.
lose.
You gonna phone a friend?
That's
phone
what you
Patty in.
call
Phone Patty
I'm
in.
going to
an
tag in
awkward
Steve.
silence
Oh.
right there.
All right.
Steve, you've been tagged in.
Consummation.
Consummation, but before consummation, you have to have. Come on, guys.
Ceremony.
Marriage license.
No. Contract. You have to have the contract, right? Ability to contract, then you got a contract, and then you got a consummation.
I
Make
didn't
the
sign a
contract.
contract.
Oh, well, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about
I
that.
think you kind of did.
Well, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so that's it, right? Ability to contract. Let's start there. Ability to contract. What does that mean, Jimmy? Big brain Jimmy?
That you are of a valid age and mental capacity to enter into a contract.
And you're not already what?
Not
Married?
already betrothed.
There you go.
Yeah. So statute, be of sound mind. Can't be crazy. Can't be incompetent.
Can't be already married.
Well, that's the next one. Have no living spouse of a previous undissolved marriage.
There you go.
Yeah. And what's the statute requires one other thing in order to be able to contract. You guys are going to love this one.
Oh, you can't have an STD.
No, I
you-
think
you
that's not
actually
one of
can.
the things. Yeah.
Not be related to the prospective
Yes.
spouse by blood or marriage within the prohibited degrees.
Of consanguinity.
Consanguinity.
Well,
Boom.
statute doesn't have that word, but yes.
But that's what it
so
means.
So here's the question for you guys, and Steve, you can't answer this because I already tipped you off on this. In Georgia, can you marry your first cousin?
I hope not.
So Alexa's vote is no. Jimmy?
Just going to say, yeah, you can.
No, but you can.
Because
But
But-
should you?
If you have a child,
just because you can, you shouldn't.
if you have a child with your first cousin spouse, and the child is born, you have to get a permit for that child.
Nice.
Because it's an inherently dangerous child.
So it's
a wild
wait,
animal.
Wait, so is it in the same lines as a hippo or a bear?
Or a kangaroo.
or a
Wallaroo?
yes, or wallaroo.
An alligatrix.
So yeah, actually, I was surprised by this because I thought you couldn't marry your first cousin in Georgia, but
I said I hope not, but
you actually can. In fact, the statute. This is what Georgia. This is again. You talk about
guys, weird Georgia laws.
Weird Georgia laws. So
But what would you do, Jimmy, if you did and the kid wasn't all right? Would you just drive out to the country and be like, "You're free"?
Steve.
Wow.
Steve. Oh my.
don't think you can do that. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
Rob's
that's
going to have to
illegal.
edit that out.
I think
All
Rob's
right.
going to
You
have
might
to
as well
edit this
leave it.
entire
So
episode.
these are the types of marriages that are declared to be unlawful and are void from their inception. Marriages between father and daughter or stepdaughter.
Because that's
Or
just
stepdaughter.
creepy all the way around.
Yeah, right. Mother and son or stepson, which
Is
I guess
creepy.
while they're still married, but then maybe ex-stepdaughter, ex-stepson?
but then they can't get married if they're already
Right, that's what I'm
married.
saying.
it would
So
no longer
it
be
makes
a
no
step
sense. Right.
Child.
This
right.
is just creepy.
This sounds like a weird cult.
Well, maybe
thing.
that's why it's not okay, because they're already married.
Brother and sister of the whole blood or the half blood.
Oh, great.
I'm
Good
sorry.
news.
Let's go back. Alexa said that's why it's not okay because they're
The
already married.
step.
That's the only reason.
Think about it. They're not family.
It's not the
They're
only.
only related by the marriage of the person to the stepmother.
That's the only reason it's creepy.
No, I never said it wasn't creepy.
It's creepy.
It's absolutely creepy.
Okay.
It's
creepy.
Other marriages that are unlawful and void from the inception. Grandparent and grandchild.
Ew.
Whoa.
Ew.
Aunt and nephew or uncle and niece.
But cousins are cool.
Well, see, you got your cousins,
Then you got
and
your
then you
first
got your first
cousins. There you
cousins.
go.
What
Yeah,
about
yeah.
what about one party is an Auburn fan, the other one's a UGA fan?
It works out just fine.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is it really working for y'all?
10 years going strong this
I mean,
month.
considering
So,
how
yeah.
bad Auburn's been
Oh, yeah,
the
it's
last
really-
decade.
Okay.
So
And actually, maybe that, oh, God, I think I jinxed the entire
season.
Auburn football everything. Because
Jinx.
since we've gotten married, I think Auburn's beat Georgia once, twice.
Oh,
I think once.
wow.
Jinx. Jinx
So
is your
you
word.
think
I-
that your
I love-
marriage to Alexa sent all kinds of bad energy out into the universe?
You're welcome, Georgia.
I love
fans.
Jimmy's just a man of science over there,
Yeah.
believing in the jinx.
So I found this interesting. So I looked online, and this is from Legal Match. So I don't know if it's current and up to date, but the states that do prohibit marriage between first cousins, it's actually not. I thought it was all of them, really. So the states that do prohibit marriage between first cousins, yes, Nebraska is on that list.
Damn.
Okay, so in Nebraska, we do not allow you to marry your
Well,
first cousins.
that's because they had
little
so
more
many gene
advanced.
puddles that they were like, hey, y'all.
I'm not kidding. When you go back to Patty's corner of southeast Nebraska, everybody's eyes are really close together.
That's what
I mean,
I'm
it's
saying. They had to
weird.
expand the
Yeah.
gene puddles.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, states that
weird.
prohibit marriage between first cousins: Arkansas, Delaware,
That's surprising.
Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Texas, Utah, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So think about some of the states that are missing from
Okay,
this
so the
list.
Northeast doesn't really care.
Well, so
The
what,
South
what's
doesn't
also
sound like we really
interesting
care.
is the Dakotas, Wyoming, Idaho, where there's not a ton
Where
of
there's
people.
like 18
They're like,
people.
no, you better not.
No,
Right.
South Dakota's not on the list.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you said
No,
South Dakota.
I said North Dakota.
You said
Dakota's
South
right
Dakota.
there.
There's only like 15 people in South Dakota.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. So
Like,
they got to
there's
go
a
out of the
dec-
state to find somebody to marry.
All right, so
But yeah, so it sounds like the Northeast, you're good to go. The South, pretty much, you're good to go, with the exception of, would you say,
in the
Louisiana,
Midwest,
Mississippi?
we don't do that kind of weird
Yeah,
stuff.
you ain't playing
How
around.
about
And then
just
the
don't
whole
be creepy
West
no
Coast.
matter where you live? I mean, it's just creepy.
Well, yeah. So, all right. So, Alexi, you said that you need a marriage license to marry.
So I actually had a case. I don't think you necessarily need a marriage license, but you said contract, right? So is that not your contract?
It could be,
It could be.
but it
Sure.
don't have to be.
So I actually had a case that's correct, because I actually had a case where the parties had a marriage license, but nobody ever signed it. Nobody ever filed it. Doesn't matter. Still valid marriage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
You don't have to. You don't have to have a marriage license. Now, and we think that the contract, it has to be a formal written contract. Does it have to be a formal written contract the parties enter into? Yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you need a marriage license?
Technically, no.
People, but I will bet you
Yeah.
if we took a microphone out and asked 100 people at the mall, first of all, you'd have to find a mall where there was 100 people. But if you
Which
could
would
find
be
a mall,
hard-pressed to find unless it's an outdoor mall.
Which you could find a mall. If you could find a mall with 100 people and you ask 100 people, I bet you the overwhelming answer would be yes, you need a marriage license.
Break. Molly and I went to Perimeter Mall last weekend for school shopping. It was packed.
Really?
Yes. Packed.
Well, then it's one of the few, because I went to North Point
is.
not that long ago, and there's like one, maybe two stores. Nobody was
perimeter
there.
mall packed.
Not
All
a single person.
So let me give you all a fact pattern, and you all tell me what you think. Alexa, do not peek at
All
my
right,
notes.
fine.
Hit us with some knowledge.
Okay,
I
all
have
right.
context in. I can actually see today.
All right. Man and woman. They're dating. In 2007, woman gets pregnant. So they decide, okay, we need to do something about this. Let's have a. Wife said it was a wedding ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Husband says it was just a celebration.
Sure.
Oh, this
With a
sounds like
party.
it's ripped from the headlines. This sounds familiar.
So they have a big dinner party, and they have their friends over and their family, and their friends and family bring gifts. And let's stop there. Is that and they stand up and they do a wedding ceremony. They do vows. All right, is that a contract?
Can I ask a question before you answer that question? Is this an event that multiple people will say happened, or will just one of the parties say it happened?
Well,
Can we prove it actually
Well, it sounds like
happened?
nobody disputes the party itself happened, right?
yeah, and they had lots of friends and family came.
All right, answer the question, Alexa. Your
Yeah,
turn.
I think it's a contract.
You think they're validly married?
I think they arguably could be validly married. I think it's going to depend on what did the invitation say,
What if they didn't send invitations? What if it was just like
Well,
a,
then how did
what
we
if
know
it
to
was
be there?
What if it was just an e-bite?
Well, you can print the evite.
What if it was just a celebration of love, and that's what they called it?
I think you can make the argument.
Okay, Jimmy, what do you think?
Were there rings at this
That
ceremony?
I don't know.
Did they do?
Well, and
Did they? I do.
and as part of
They
the
had
ceremony.
Vows, they did vows.
Okay.
Yeah, then you have a contract.
Well, and what was involved in the vows? Because that right there is going to show a bunch of intent.
All right. The facts I've given you is the facts you got.
Mm.
Is there a marriage contract? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer the question, and then you can explain your answer.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes as well, and I think I
Okay.
said yes when you and I first discussed this. Now, has this been resolved?
Well, let me give you some more information.
Give us more.
Let me give you some more facts.
She's going to hit you with some more knowledge, Jimmy.
Hit it.
So the parties.
I need more.
After this
Yes.
dinner celebration, whatever you want to call it, but call it wedding, celebration of love, dinner, party, whatever. The parties live together. Of course, they have this child. They have a couple more children. Then a few years later, husband marries another woman. They never live together though. They get married with a marriage license and
Like in a courthouse or
in
something?
a courthouse,
Okay.
yeah, justice of the peace wedding. They never lived together, and in the entire time, the man's still living with the woman he allegedly married in 2007.
You still have questions, but okay.
Yeah, lots of questions.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, so
Oh.
9 years later,
Did first possibly wife know about the other
Marriage.
possibly void ab initio marriage?
at the time, I don't know.
Because it's just like, hey, sweetie, how was work today? Oh, it was fine.
Married.
Went to the courthouse, got
I
married.
believe,
Had a long lunch.
as I recall, I believe they stopped living together when you told me this before.
Well, this I think this might be different facts.
All right, well, keep going. Keep
Okay,
going.
all right. So in 2016, the man and woman who did the celebration of love, is what we're calling it, in 2007, they go to the courthouse in 2016, get a marriage license, and get married.
Yeah.
Okay. Same courthouse where you got married the first court marriage, or we don't know yet?
Does it
I'm just
matter?
curious. Well, I'm curious if they've already got a marriage license on file in that
So was
courthouse.
she wearing red or a blue dress?
Hey.
Does it matter?
She wasn't wearing white.
So then, a few years pass, and the parties are getting divorced. So the question is,
Wait, which parties?
Yeah, the first marriage or the,
The first
second one?
marriage.
Okay, the
The
first
first
one's
marriage.
getting
The
divorced.
party people. Got
yeah,
it.
the celebration of love.
Party
couple.
people. Yeah.
So, and oh, by the way, let me back up. In 2016, it's a celebration of love couple that go to the courthouse
Got
and
it.
get a marriage license and get married by
Okay.
by a judge.
Okay.
So they're going through a divorce. What's the date of the valid marriage? Is it 2007 or is it 2016?
You asked me?
I'd
I think
argue-
it was
I'd
the
argue
first.
seven.
Yeah.
You think
I think it was
I'd
the
2007?
argue
first date
2007.
I
because
think you'd have to argue that.
Well, I think it's the first date. I think that because a marriage license is not strictly required to marry somebody, that opens the door to all of these behaviors. And if you had a large group of people there and you did a marriage-like ceremony and then lived together afterwards, I think you
And
have.
had children too.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have contracted and consummated a marriage. My problem is that the subsequent marriage was to a different person, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That the person who the person who is in common with both marriages, whoever that person was, I think it was the husband, it didn't have capacity to marry the other person
Right,
because he was
didn't-
already
He
married.
didn't
Right.
have the ability to
Yeah.
contract for that second marriage.
That's what I say.
Which is why you'd have to make that argument because you'd have to be able to argue that
Mm-hmm.
second
But
marriage.
nobody
Yeah.
cares about it. Nobody
What?
cares,
Yeah.
and nobody cares about the marriage to this other woman.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
cares
bet
about it.
I bet the wife does if the first wife who became the second wife officially with the marriage license, because she's going to want to say it was 2007 and he's going to want to say, well, no, we never actually got married in 2007. In fact, I was already married before I married you.
I think that's
And I
exactly
was-
what she said, actually.
Right,
yeah.
right. So this was a case.
This is messy.
It
I
is
don't like
messy.
it.
It is messy. So this was a case in front of Judge Hutchinson in Gwinnett County.
Oh, really?
Yeah, great judge.
So this wasn't your
Interesting.
case. This was
This
another
is not
case.
one of my cases.
So how
yeah.
did this resolve?
So Judge Hutchinson said, "Nah, you guys were married in 2007."
That's what I'm talking
That's the right
about.
answer.
That's George
Because-
Hutchinson, and
because
he
that-
is a great guy.
Yeah, because
Yes,
at that
good.
time the parties had the ability
Good.
to contract.
Yeah.
They contracted by doing their wedding vows.
He's just a good old common sense guy.
Yeah, he is.
Well, and it's almost 10 years after it went out.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of applying a little bit of common law marriage
well,
ish, but with the
The difference
contract
is
side of
common
it.
law
Yeah.
marriage doesn't require the ceremony.
Correct.
That's the difference.
Well,
You
and
just
I-
hold yourself out as.
Yeah,
And
I
Georgia
know.
got rid of common law marriage in '97, and I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of common law marriage. I think that I don't think they should have gotten rid of it, but
why?
we don't want.
Wait,
Do you want to
why?
bring it back?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I think that when people live like a married couple and they hold themselves out like a married couple, that people rely on that, and it ought to be respected. That's my opinion.
And I think
But it's gone in Georgia.
Yeah.
it is, but I don't necessarily know that it's gone forever because we have this thing called the Uniform Law Commission, not in Georgia, but this is, in our country, we have what's called the Uniform Law Commission. And it's a bunch of smart people together who put together, hey, we think that these should be laws, They've come up with the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act that all the states have passed,
Yeah.
except for Massachusetts and Puerto Rico. That's another story.
Puerto Rico's not a
The
state,
Uniform Commercial Code that all the states follow. A lot of the uniform laws that we have state to state. They actually have a Uniform Marriage Act that I don't know that any of the states have passed, but they have put it together. And one of the things that it talks about is, in essence, a common law marriage where if you act like a married couple, you hold yourself out as a married couple, and that you can be considered a married couple. So and this is a uniform law that's out there. It makes you wonder, is the future, is this coming back in the future?
It might. But before we digress too much, I want to know, how did this end with Judge Hutchinson's
Okay.
correct decision? What happened?
Okay, so of course somebody appealed it. Otherwise,
Naturally.
why would we know?
I'm going to
about
assume
this?
it was the husband.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And the Court of Appeals, of course, agreed with Judge Hutchinson.
Good.
Yeah, and so, but, so you got to think about that, if you, some of the facts that we've had in a case was there was a marriage ceremony in another country.
Sure.
So is that are the parties validly married here in Georgia?
In my humble opinion, if the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court of Georgia gets a case from Judge Hutchinson, they should agree with Judge Hutchinson.
Period.
Every time,
no,
always.
unless I appeal it.
Wow.
Unless you appeal it. Fair.
No, I'm kidding.
Fair.
I'm kidding. No, I like to hear stories like that because you told us the facts before you told us the result. And I like that we all got the right answer, and I think that was the right answer. So that's
Yeah,
good.
and we've had, Lexa had the case of the marriage license. I think you've had one as well where
Yeah.
they, didn't have a marriage license, but they still, had a ceremony. Especially these
Yep.
people that do these destination weddings, and they're like, oh yeah, we forgot the marriage license.
Right, exactly.
And don't you have one pending right now, a destination wedding case that's similar to this?
No, but you and I had this conversation, and I don't even know what case it was. I thought it was one of your cases.
Oh, now I remember. Forgive me. Now it's come clear to me. I was in court not that long ago, and I forget why I loitered. But I loitered in court after Stop. I hate podcast day.
Was there a sign that said no loitering? But you did it anyway, you rebel.
I just hate podcast day. No, this is Saturday. I could be doing stuff I like. I'm with you guys. Podcast.
Yeah,
hang
your butt
out
could
with
be out
you.
there mowing the grass like Patty
no.
told you to.
Take the trash
No. I loitered in court, which means my business was done, but I knew the lawyers and the judge, and I can't remember right now who they were, but it was a good trio. The judge and the lawyers were good, and I was like, I want to watch and see this. I think it was in DeKalb County, and the argument was a destination wedding occurred, and they, very similar to this case.
Yeah.
In fact, what's the name of this case?
Chen versus Chen.
Yeah, this case was quoted, and somebody was trying to back out of a marriage that had been done in Mexico, and I think the case is still pending. And it'll occur to me later who the attorneys are. I'm sure at 2:00 in the morning I'll remember. I'll wake up. Eureka! It was so and so. But
text us at 2 a.m.
the whole issue was, there's a specific statute in Georgia that says we respect destination. It's basically for destination weddings. But one of the parties is still trying to back out of it, and I think we spoke about this. That's what it was.
And I think it's Well, I think what it was, you texted me while you're like, hey,
This
asking
is
me
interesting,
questions, and
right.
I was like, oh, that is interesting.
And I can't. And even if I could remember the attorneys right now, I wouldn't mention it because the case is pending.
Yeah.
And I have a very strong feeling about it, like I did with this one.
Yeah.
That when you do that, you crossed a line. I can remember being in rural Nebraska, going to a courthouse 25 years ago with Patty, and Patty's like, "Here's the marriage license. Sign this," and I had one of those pause moments, like.
This is duress.
I feel like I'm about to cross a river here. I can't go back.
Did they make you prick your finger?
No.
And,
Sign in blood.
and a
No.
blood thumbprint?
No, because actually...
Dude, I got to see her daddy's shotgun.
No, actually, Jimmy, because when I went
It was
to
loaded.
get the marriage license at the courthouse, because Steve didn't come in until like 2 days before the wedding. So
Loaded
I was a little
buckshot.
concerned.
That he might not show up.
No, that they wouldn't let me get the marriage license
Without him there.
Without him being there. So I made my brother-in-law Ed come with me to the courthouse. Now, luckily, they didn't even. They were just like, yeah, here you go. Just sign in and bring it back to us.
Well, I mean, the person in the courthouse was probably in your class of 13, right?
Cute. Now, but speaking of no loitering signs, did you all see Steve's post last night about the sign? The high pedestrian area? There's
No.
a sign in Brockett, or in Clarkston, rather, that says high pedestrian area.
Our office manager.
I can
Courtney-
interpret that in a few ways.
Why
So-
did
so
they
they
gotta
like
be
to
high?
Why are they
party.
going to call him out like that?
Our office manager, Courtney Adams, said you'll have to go eat at the Brockett pub because we like Shorty's a lot.
Sure, the brew pub. It's
And
good.
Shorty's was packed with like 150,000 cars. So we drove another mile down the road to Brockett Pub, and it wasn't as crowded. And we
good.
parked. Very good food, very nice, very good
But evidently
service.
everybody's high.
And there's a sign that says
Solid.
high pedestrian area. And I was like, that's a tricky one.
I mean, at least now they know where to go.
Oh,
They have a place
I think
to
they
get you
were there
high,
before.
I guess.
Yeah, see, you're putting the chicken before the egg cart. When you put the sign up, you're thinking people think, oh, it's okay to be high here. I think the city put the sign up because people were high there already.
Wait.
See what I'm saying?
Well,
Wait.
I never.
One
what?
of my friends growing up, there was
when
right
you
in
say
front of
you've
his
got weird
house, there was a sign that said, slow child area.
Why they gotta be slow?
Well, and I was like, God, man, everybody knows you're that unathletic that they put a sign out in front of your house.
Wow.
All right, so
But he was
that's
white,
Fantastic.
Oh,
Now-
very.
of course.
y'all know. Don't play around. Don't play marriage, okay? And don't play, vows.
Don't play wedding.
I
Don't
did,
play
and look where
wedding.
it got me.
I mean,
Yeah, because it
we
could,
had a
Didn't our
license.
daughter, Molly, in elementary school have a husband named Jacob?
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Was it,
no.
no, it wasn't elementary school. It was daycare. She
Daycare.
came-
Daycare,
She came home when she was 3, and I was giving her a bath, and she starts telling me about her husband, and I was like,
Well,
wow,
Good
maybe we
news.
should meet his parents.
she did not have the
wasn't-
ability
yeah.
to contract.
Yep.
I know, right? Otherwise, that could be awkward.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm glad y'all joined us. Now you know what is a valid marriage in Georgia. You
Be
can
careful.
You can marry your first cousin in Georgia
Without a license.
without a license.
probably
We
shouldn't,
don't
though.
recommend it.
If you have a kid, you got to get a permit for the kid.
All right, peace out, Girl Scouts, and don't forget to subscribe.
Whoop.